It's a pleasure to have you all. I'm Umudu Gajaga, and thank you very much for joining us on the Fan Zone. And today, our special guest, is Sainey S Mbodge,
Gajaga,
who
we
is
are on.
former women's national team footballer and now working as a player caretaker in one of the teams in Europe. And she joins us on the program to talk about her journey in football as a woman, those she inspired, and the future of women football in the Gambia. First, I welcome you, Saini.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gajaga, for having me. It's a great pleasure to be with you people on the platform today. Most especially with Alassane Balo. It's been a while, and he was one of the first Gambian journalists to interview me when I was rising, working at the GFF. So I can remember by then when he was trying to put some questions on me. But right then I was rising up, but he was also motivating after every section we have. And he would be telling me, saying, you're doing good, but just keep pushing this way, that way, that way. So I'm grateful for that. And for Bass, we grew up together, playing at Brewer. So, and he was a good player, but, unfortunately, he took the side of going for education more than playing football. He was a good player. And for you, Gajaga, we have been always talking about Gambian football development, and you also give me the privilege to talk about a lot of things when it comes to football in the Gambia and beyond. So it's a good time for me with you people today. Yeah. Anyway, you have to be patient with me because I'm in Gambia currently, and Gambia network how it is. So I have to switch off from Wi-Fi to my normal data of AfriCell so that I can, not be switching on and off. So I have to be stagnant with one network. So that's the AfriCell one. I think it's better. Yeah.
Saying I fay
Appreciate it,
hali
Saini,
stay.
for that introduction. Fantastic. Now, for the panelists, Alassane Balo is here and Base is also here. You can say your greetings before we start the program. Alassane first.
I didn't really
Alassane,
hear what you say.
yes, Alassane, please just introduce yourself a little bit before we start the questions with Saini.
Yeah, exactly. I am just very excited that we have a guest like Saini tonight because look, if you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking for motivation, if you're looking for someone to look up to, I think you do not really need to look further than Saini because of what she has been, what she has done altogether to be where she is today. It's nothing sort of extraordinary. So this just goes on to say that if you really want to be something, you can. Whatever the mind of a man conceive and believe, the mind of a man can achieve. So this is just it. I really want to welcome Saini to the program, and I really look forward to the things that she has to say and to the advices that she probably have to give to the Gambian young girls, and even the men that are out there trying to look for a better future, trying to look for something or somewhere where they belong. And Saini, to be honest, she has got it all.
Fantastic, Alassane. Base, your introduction.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. I am Base. My name is Basiru, commonly called Base. Welcome, Seni, to the program. Seni is a sister. We back 10 years ago, we used to play together. We have this team around Abuko. We play against them, ladies, battles, guys. And I'm happy that that team was able to produce at least 3 or 4 players that made it to the national team. So, Seni, welcome to the program, and then we are all yours, man. Thank you.
Sammy, your journey. Take us through. You've been women's footballer in the Gambia for quite some time before you hung your boots. Later became a football administrator, and now you're still in football. You are always in football. But take us through your journey as a women's footballer in the Gambia. Some of the early days, the challenges, the teams that you play for.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gajaga. Just to sum it up, because my journey is too long to explain all, but to pick the important points that will really benefit the viewers, most especially the young ones. Like Alassane Balo said, because I was in women's football, now I switch to men's football. It's all the same. Like I said, football is football. So now for me, I'm in both sides, which I have the experience. Um, yeah, my journey, I am Sainey from Abuko United. I'm a twin. Um, I I am someone who started my journey when it comes to education and football in Arabic school. If you watch my BBC interview, I started my journey there, which I'm really proud of today. An Arabic school student, becoming someone in football administration and operation, um, and in future, I want to see myself at the top governance level, which I'm really proud of today. Then from there, I started playing my native Aboko team called Eastern Lion by then. It was coached by Dauda Bassen, which I'm really grateful for all the support that he gave me during that time. And from there, I pursued to play GIF Gambia, which everything started with my international journey with them, which is also, which I'm really grateful for. And the funniest thing is when I started my English school, I didn't start it from my primary school, like grade 1 to 6. I started grade 7, second term at Abuko United. And how the story came in connection with my journey is I we went to Norway Cup when I was selected, me and my twin sister. And then there was some occasion that we have anytime we open Norway Cup. There's a speeches in every country that represents, so you have to have a both male and female, someone to say something or to read a speech. So Soso came and said, who will volunteer out of you people to read this story, to read our speech on behalf of Gambia, both boys and girls? So I sat down for like 2 minutes, everybody is looking at the other. But the confident, sometimes certain things is like, juduwale la. You just grew up with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's in you, but I'm not your hamnane. If you have that kind of confidence in you. But when I stood up, I said, me. And then everybody was laughing. I will never forget that day. So most of the people were laughing like, oh, you're from Arabic school, you cannot speak English or you cannot read anything. But I told them that when I was in Arabic school, we have an English school teacher, Mr. Tamba. So I was so passionate to read about English, most especially our group, because we have a very brilliant group in Arabic school, scientific Islamic school. So what they were doubting me, the coaches, but by then I was the only one who stood up to volunteer to read with Seifo Savage in Banjul. But Seifo Savage was having the background because he was in JC Five. So I said, if you don't trust me, let me read first. So I read. When I read, everything was perfect. So said, why not? Go ahead and read. So I read it perfectly. And then Soso approached me and said, do you want to go to English school? I said, yes, I want to go to English school, but my mom wants us to be in Arabic school. But if you are interested for us to go, why not? Then fortunately, when we came back, Soso's sister and my mom were in college for years. So when my mom saw, my mom said, so, you say, jarbad lay, no mura defa defa. Then that's why he started to say, okay, you can go to Abuko Islamic School. Second time, that's why we started Abuko Basic School. That's why I started my journey English school with Hasana, my twin sister. Then from there, I graduated from St. Joseph. So from St. Joseph, I was selected to the national team. So when I was selected to the national team, I was selected as the vocal person and the vice captain of the team. Why I was a vice captain? Because I was so young. So I could not lead the team in that. But they put me there because I have shown the leadership skills. And from there, those leadership skills, it was something that I, always said, whatever you're doing good, don't look at people to validate that. Just do it with your whole heart and do it with passion because that will lead to something that you never expect. So what happened? That's what happened to me in the national team because I was the one like, Dembeje is coming for me because when we tried to uh, trying the 11 plus was so hard. And then many women, when the players are saying, oh, Madam Son, I cannot do this, I'm so tired. They so hard. Then I said, Dembeje, let's go up to the end. So this is something that was like, is embedded in me. And from there, then I was picking cones. If we finished from school training, I was picking the balls. So the Lady Lamisar and Ellis, they have observed me doing a lot of leadership skills. So they called me and Amiyompo and said, we have identified captains. And those captains, you are one of them. So I cried. But I cried in a sense that I was one of the youngest players in the team, and why am I selected? But then also with curiosity, I, I went and called them. I said, I'm sorry for this, but I want to ask, why am I selected? They said, we have seen a leadership skills in you. That's why. And he told me this.
Fantastic. Yeah,
Yes.
fantastic saying. You're taking us through the journey. But let me interject here a little bit.
Yeah.
The biggest tournament that you played so far for the Gambia was the FIFA Women's World Under 17 competition in Azerbaijan in 2012. You were one of the goal scorers in that competition. The Gambia conceded a lot of goals, one due to lack of experience. That was their first time in that kind of a competition. But you being part of the team, and at least the ultimate goal that the Gambia scored, you scored that goal, and you came with this slogan, Dembeje, in as much as it's difficult. Take us through that journey. How was it like to play for the national team?
It was one of the best journey in my life because it was one of the most important stage for me to play. Um, Looking at myself standing on in front of the crowd, singing the national team, having the national jersey on you, that's a very, very proud moment for not only me, for all my team members, and also with the coaching staff and with everybody who was involved in that journey. So that was a pride, and that was something that I really said I really work hard for, because it was something that I was really showing to my community that we can be here. Not only me, because I was not the only one playing there. Me, they, Veronique, we are all coming from Abuko, because you can see that pride in us, because we work hard for it. We were labeled in all names. Dengan gore, dengan ni, dengan nele. But with that, we pursue with passion. And then we said, look, we have to make something from football. Because this is our passion. This is what we love to do. And passion can push you in the right direction, that where you come, where you want to go. But also it has to be accompanied with hard work and dedication, willingness, and everything involved that can make your life positive to this level. So Azerbaijan journey was a great journey for everyone, including myself, and scoring the goal. But like Solmar said to me, so lende mezunenti nulenda have football. But I said to him at the campaign, man, Damasco, how man kalafa deme. But when I came, he said to me, you were beaten mercilessly, but all in a whole, this is the best platform that Gambia women's football can reach, and that's where everything shapes. That's where everything started. So that's a great one for everyone who is involved in that journey.
How are you able to deal with stereotypes and cultural differences in this country when it comes to women's football? Because a lot of the time, okay, one that all of Putin, dengan gore, you people look like men. Why are you playing football? And in that BBC piece, you talked about, some even describing it as, you would lose your virginity
Yes.
as a women footballer. You are a woman and then you want to play football. How did you deal with that and overcome it?
Yeah, if you look at Gambia, this is a very important question for me to just highlight a bit about things. And like I said from the starting, when I was starting to talk, you see, in life, lo pararek for mumiti. The stereotype in Gambia is something that is really hindering a lot of progress when it comes to women, not only in sport, but women in general in a lot of sectors. And this is something that oh, sorry. And this is the time, most of the time, people have some people will lose the track. Some people will feel like, oh, I have to give up. Some people will shift from passion to something that will suit the community what they want. And for me, Angalunde was dangayaga danga. So that one is something, like I said, Judy was. Oh, sorry, I'm having a call in. So it's something that is really difficult for myself when I started it in my community. But what makes it easier a bit for me is my mother. My mother was someone who was really influenced in our community. She was someone who's educated also in the community, women, because she was handling 400 women behind her. So she played a very important role when it comes to acceptance in the society. But even though it was challenged, like many old past would be hiding, saying, oh, why this girl is playing, because she's influencing, she's a bad influence for our kids, because I'm coming from a tribe, Sarahule, we don't have to wear shorts, we don't have to wear something that will expose our body. But with that, they get Bob more for Dugalon. But it was a passion and something that I really want to excel in. So I push harder. And fale, that fale mentality, bull fale. Because if you want to pursue really what you want, trust me, these are some of the hurdles that you really have to accept. But the stereotype thing in Gambia need to stop. Why? Because even you are in an institution, no matter how women are educated, some men are exceptional. Like I always say, they are exceptional when it comes to supporting women in their career. But some of this majority of the society, even you are in a midst of men, which I will come later when I was starting working the GF, the stereotype perception they have, oh, you get for them live in Barreras. I agree. Nay, in the home, yes, I will not give there 50-50. But at the workplace, I have to give that because not only being a wife or whatsoever, yes, we are coming from a culture where women respect men, men respect women, and that's how it should be in Islam that we preach. But in our society, how we label women is like they have to be behind and men have to be in follow. I don't mind that when it comes to marriage time. 100% agree with that. But when it comes to the career side, that's a different ball game. So with that, it was crazy, and not only me, but with my friends. And that stereotype that makes my twin sister to quit football. Because she said, I cannot take it, Saini. I can't. You go ahead, I will support you. And she was also my support system with my sisters. So they were always supporting me because that's what I want. But for her, she couldn't take it. Because she felt like, oh, what they're saying, but that comes to the mentality, the mindset. The mindset was weak by then. But my mindset was stronger to say, oh, I'm going for it. I don't care what I will get, but I will go for it. So it was a terrible challenge for me. It was a terrible experience for me. But for me, right now, it's worth it.
Fantastic. So you dealt with it very well. At this point, we've spoken for about 18 minutes. Base is around. And also, Alasan, if you have questions, if you have comments, contributions as to what Sieni said so far, and then we move on to the other segment of the program.
Yeah, I just want to say, Saini said something very important. Mandamare Hall, the Gambian society, the way they treat jigin. And Lee is nothing is nothing against the Gambian society, but sabot that they gonna ubeku when you leave Gambia and come to Europe or other parts of the world, and you see how women live their lives. They don't ever, you never ever hear things like ki jigen la, ki waruta def li, ki waruta def lele.
Yeah.
Like Europe BF, women are doing things in Gambia, it would have probably been impossible. So they may see offices, most of them come women ñoneka in the high positions. Understand nga? Te su gaay demee kër da nga ñoom dañoo fekka comme sen jëkkër tooga na añ ba pare, sen jëkkër bale na néeg, sen jëkkër fompa na néeg. Loolu is never an issue here. Why Gambia probably degala ñun we are a little bit different, nuñ ñu yare ak probably tradition, how we see it. Lulu, okay, I can give it to them. Why I just want to say something lu seeni wax loo xam ne dafa over important mooy mom yaayam. Imagine if her mom never approved of this. Saini would have never gotten to the level that she is right now, today. And everybody is proud of her, including her family and even people that are outside of her family. Te man or na mane, even today, am na ñoo xam ne ñu ko doon discourage. Why right now, with the level that she is, those people are, telling her, oh, you see, hamon nako, yeah, danga yaga dangam, whatever you want, you will get it, and I really like it, and okay, saying du len wax ne yow time bobu nonu xamna ne yow time bobu nonu fi la la waxon ne kay ñu dem training nga bañ o nga ma wax ne buma def li ak lele, understand nga? But man luma wax everybody in Gambia, if your family approves, your family approves, don't listen to the outside noise. Don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to anybody that is telling you otherwise, because at the end of the day, they don't put food on your table. They don't even know what you're going through, at home. Fii ñu bari ñu ngee go through a lot of things at home. Lii moo tane back way nga liggéey nga play football nga am it doesn't really matter how, as long as you're just sweating and you're earning your money. This is what everyone needs to do. But at the end of the day, the society ndeysaan so play football ñu ne is a taboo. Comme no ko waxe su play football dafa lose whatever, mu play football mu lose ko si football bi moo gën mu dem lose ko like in another way boo xam ne du la njëriñ, because Gambia loolu bari na fa ñu bari lose nañ seen whatever si loo xam ne musul njëriñul leen tey njëriñul leen ëllëg. So Sainey, I just want to say, man, to be honest with you, I have known you over the years. Man, nothing makes me happy. Nothing makes me like really excited than to see people that I have known, to see people that I knew, from when they were, down. Back to the level that you are. Even if I probably never message you or tell you how proud I am, but obviously, deep inside, on like I am so proud of all the achievement that you have, gotten yourselves. Yeah, like yourself. Lee is just everything, a Gambian doing wonders, doing great. Lulu, it's everything that we all yearn for. Why? Anyway, I'm not been a slogan in Gambia at that time. Dembeje, man si yen la ko dege, comme si yow. Dembeje, the national team, for the women national team, then ko daan wax so len they play Dembeje, and that slogan then wala ko si even Gori. And then I remember you telling me one time, come bole nekon Azerbaijan, when the occasion was so big, then I play ngeen gis comme the screen, see television.
I remember, yeah.
And all that.
I remember.
Yeah, you cannot even concentrate. Like a lot of the girls,
yeah,
they
see yourself on the screen. Yeah, you're right.
And looking on the screens, the replays and all that, because infrastructure, bolen fa feka, the kind of bolen fa feka, musulen ko gis. Musulen ko gis. Like what advice do you really have for these young Gambian girls that are yearning to reach the level that you are, like play in the level that you played? I know it's almost an impossibility right now, looking at how Gambian football is.
Yeah.
It's almost an impossibility. Why you just keep our hope, high, knowing on the side, probably it may never happen again. But what advice would you probably have to tell these girls that probably would play in very advanced stadiums, in around the world? Tell them about the infrastructure. Tell them that this is something Lohamne is very, very normal. It's not normal to Gambia, but it's normal to Azerbaijan. It's normal, all around the world. What kind of advice do you really have to tell these girls that are yearning to be, on the level that you are right now, with peer pressure from the parents, pressure from friends, and pressure from everyone that are around them? What kind of advice do you really, have for these girls that are, every day trying to hustle and make ends meet, through football or sports?
Thank you very much, Alassane. This is a very important question, but this will come in two folds. The one fold is, it's about you, individual. How I can tell you to be really consistently, because also progress and success come consistently. It's something that also you are passionate about and give everything that you have. One of the things that will come on your way, there are a lot of hurdles, with a lot of challenges, with a lot of bullying, most especially as a woman or as a girl. with a lot of discouragement. Some of them will be forced to go and get married. Some of them will be said, no, it's not for you. But now, football have transformed certain things from that level where it started and now. Because now many girls are earning football money. And I'm a bright example for if I'm talking to the parents, why you have to let your guy child to play football. Because right now, I am very important. I'm bragging, but I'm important in my society. If it's I mean, it's more guinea, tie you, so ngente amé I will be like outstanding. They show amé as magine, right? You know, everybody look up to me. All because of the colleague new level everybody want to be there. But those girls there who have the passion, who have the willingness also and commitment, it really counts when it comes to reaching this level or beyond. Because I want people to be beyond. For myself, still now I'm young, and I'm pushing to go higher and higher. I want to be where Fatma Samura is one day, because I also have my aim and targets in life. But still now I'm in the journey and I'm in the process. But the other fold is, it is sometimes, like you said, practically impossible right now when it comes to going to the World Cup again, which can be achieved. But with the current situation of our football, I would also like to say this, Arasan. I believe something, and I always give credit where it's due. With football, I know which questions will come when I was in the GFF, and I will start that open conversation. Which I have a team, and there was a lot of people who are involved in the success. This is about me personally. Yes, I was the anchor of a lot of things that are happening, and started with certain things by pushing forward, by fighting, by even tongo certain people just to go further for those young girls. But what I did is when I was asked a question in the interview, I can never forget with that question. They said, with all this, what we are seeing, the qualification, the experience that you can give us, what can you back yourself? One, I said, my experience in women's football. Why? Because dama ko dunda. So lo dunda. So dune nyaka. So ame ku nyaka dang day ham lui meeting. This is what I replied. You're poor, and then you are rich now, and you saw a poor person, you will also understand what that person is going through because you went through that stage. So this was my answer. So that's why I sacrificed. I was very good when I left football. I was one of the best left footers in the Gambia. But I left. Why? Because I think I was saying to myself, I'm the best person to change this narrative. Because I have what it takes. I was young, but I was ambitious and having the aim. And I did it. I didn't achieve everything, but at least in Gambia today, with the team that I was really working with on the ground, not only me make that achievement, but like I said, I was in the forefront to fight for that. But it happened. All over the Gambia is playing women's football now. If you see the national team is performing, I could have not been more prouder if the national team qualified for the AFCON. That would be one of the most historic achievements I will start it for myself and everybody involved when it comes to the achievement. Like I said, I'm not the only one who was being part of the journey. There are lots of people who were with me, supporting to make sure everything should be achieved, because I cannot do everything alone. But I was anchoring everything. The reality is, Gambia, sometimes I don't know where to start. I'm exposed now. I've seen a lot. I've worked in a very tough environment where everything is pum pum.
Yeah.
And I switched from women's football to men's football. So with that, it's something that I can say, Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm grateful to football. I'm really grateful to football. But Alassane, those young girls that I'm saying, and those who are listening to me, and parents who are listening to me, uncles who are listening to me, and mothers, please, when your godchild wants to play football, football is not only about on the pitch. Even I want to start, I want to have a project, but I don't want to disclose it now. With the Arabic school students, you can see me on my Facebook page. I posted that I went to watch, went to visit my old school, because that's where I started everything. And I want to give opportunity to those young girls who want to play the game. Now Saudi Arabia play women's football. They do hijab. They do long sleeve. Even the national team, it doesn't forbid you to play. And you can say, okay, I don't want to be a player. I want to be an administrator. I want to be a physio. I want to be a journalist. All is in sports. So I want to encourage
Yeah.
those people.
Very
I
wise.
want to give them that
Yeah.
hope and that motivation to realize the potential that they have. Because here, what kind of challenge we have most of the time with our parents is they parents most of the time don't want to guide their sons or their daughters the passion that they want. Some of them wants to say, "I want to be a cook." If even your child want to be a cook, support her because that's where she can make it. Because many people are cooks, they are cooks in the world and they are millionaires. I want to be someone like I want to be a housekeeper in a sense that now most of these hotels you go and check. It's a big job, so it's a passion that you have to support. So these are certain things that you have to explore in all areas. But when it comes to specifically on football, which I am really passionate about, but the reality is Gambia dafa am lu bari lu ñu deelooloo gannaaw te loolu nekkut lekk infrastructure. It's about the mindset and the capacity. These are one of the
Yeah.
areas that really lacking
Yeah.
behind.
Saini, wax nga lu very very important. I will give it to you, Momodu Gaja, very soon. Why come law wa dafa important? Gis nga legi yang ko make everybody is, nañ la invite ngente, nañ la invite dëj, nañ la invite whatever ceremony bu am, nañ la def yaay compine, nañ la def anything. Yow yaay star bi. Understand nga? Be pare wax nga tamit something very important. Am na ñu bari ñoo tongo just because you wanted to succeed. The man, I want to reiterate that. Gambia, sujare nga tongo everybody because you want to succeed. Please do it. Please do it. Bude lulu moy tanga succeed nga tongo ñep tongol guy. Because at the end of the day, you know where you really want to go and what level you want to get. You want to get to. Après lo wax ni dafa important trop amna ñu bari dañoo bëgg nekk like cooks, ñu bari dañoo nekk mechanics. Gis nga job yoyu in Gambia yoo xam ne yow da nga fa ne comme job yoyu noonu they are very silly jobs.
Yeah,
I'm
Europe is
telling
a
you,
big job.
man, I want to tell you people that are living in Gambia ngiri yàlla gis nga soo nekkee kapinta nga nekk mécanique nga nekk cook gis nga and you want to come to Europe bulen sandi sen liggéey yooyu. Those are well paid jobs, well respected jobs in Europe. Yen jobs yo leen a sandi di foog ne okay yi they are silly jobs.
Low class jobs.
No way, my friend. Get that job. Know it. Come to Europe and you will thank me later. So anyway, it's been really nice listening to all of these achievements that you have made. And yeah, I am very proud of you once again, Modu.
Yes, fantastic. So we've gone halfway point of the program, 33 minutes into the show. You are watching the Fan Zone, and it's been a pleasure to have Sainey S Mbodge, former Gambia women's national team player, captain, and also currently working in men's football. So Basiru, now it's your time. You grew up with Sainey, you played football together, men versus women's football. So tell us about what you know about Sainey and also, her journey so far.
Yeah, thank you, Gajaga. I think I can say I was part and parcel of Sainey's journey, and then that stereotype thing did not really affect Sainey alone.
Base, bu fi jël crédit de Sainey ban part la play sa journey.
No,
stretch when we were playing. The man stretch. You know, when
yeah.
Okay. No, but on a serious note, luma buga wax moy lolu stereotype bi Sainey regular affect. It affected us because we were playing in a way that nekut jangay den they play alone, boy play alone. Dawda dafa ñew mu sampa jigeni 11, gori sampa 11. Understand? So you play against them. So it went up to a point bo xamantene us, especially I came from the Welingare area, he is from the Abuko area. So they were labeling us, boy, you they play a jigeni. Understand? I can at some point, boy, you mother and all of them quit. So Maradak Mafa Des ak Bena boy Ibulai, he was a bit my mom, he was not that frequent. Why mangla when it affected us psychologically because I them tiri la boy they play at boy they because we were doing separate. And I am and I knew one thing that training made them stronger because so you play agori, the contact that you have and all those things, drill be, daw be, agio, it makes you stronger. And munna one contana seeing that people like Sainey, people like PC, Veronic, and a quite number of them, at the end of the day, them representing squad B. So those people that they were labeling as Jigen, you they play, Agbo, you they play Jigen, Jigeni, even I'm the boy Bohamantane, Pogba, Pogba later went on and play for the national team. So
yeah,
one thing about Gambia is, I think we need to talk about this. But if you come to Europe here, you see female truck drivers. You will see female taxi drivers. But Amazon is one of the biggest companies in Europe here. You see Amazon, they have more than 10 to 15% of their drivers, they are females. You understand? Taxi driver, but those kind of things, if you want to do it in Gambia, then lare.
So
2-3 years ago,
Gambia, doko wax again.
2-3 years ago,
driver jigen.
Gambia among a taxi driver Mohamantene, Surombe Sanity then gonna read. At some point, understand? So these are the kind of Jigen, small depth that Mohamantene, Neku Dijay Bopam. We should support her. Understand? Why Gambia the Najis Jigen Mohamantene, get them club every weekend. You go celebrate Mohamantene, get them Dan Dolam Yahambi, you go race process. Understand? So Seni, I'm so proud of you, Mayo. So and yeah, and I must say that I'm a bit sad see Handorambi Asana to at some point Asana to nobody because
but she's a businessman now, a businesswoman now.
Yeah.
She also pursued a journey like that. She wants to she left football and she said I want to do business, which is really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why in a nutshell, Gambia, you need to have a strong heart to go for your passion. I'm telling you, Liz Gajaga. People like saying if you're gonna garden don't the noise, the outside noise. Timbo no dehna buyaga. And also we need to give credit to I think Dauda Banu Nyohamantene, they were these people pushing them, pull one and okay, you guys am darasili football could go there. If you go to Saudi is a more Islamic country than Gambia. Understand? Saudi they are playing football. So can a buglo somebody be exposed? Islam is not allowed. Why munga sol tights na play football? Munga sol hijab na play football.
Even though the Saudi it is allowed in everywhere.
It's in line with FIFA rules.
FIFA right? Rules, yeah, they approve, yeah.
Understand? So, anyways, I don't take much of your time, Gajaga. You can continue.
Yeah, sharing maybe by Madugas is more of the So this stereotype thing, Mom, it's all over the place. Man, I remember my journalism journey just a little bit. So mandama radio transistor because Texas mo no pa din naman deglu news. So man journalist la buga neka. Te man si liggéey bo xamne tay amu fa. So no start one like basically you are volunteering, you are training, you are alasan hamna si dara. You basically come because you want to learn in the job. So you're not employed at the time. So amut lu ma waxu mais waaw man failure la lu tax may dem di dugg si liggéey boo xam ne amut fay ak yooyu noonu ba alhamdulilah ñeneen si ñooñu dañ dee ñëw si man ma ne naka la ñu dee apply visa noo def ba am visa ak yooyu noonu so life moom yooyu moom Gambia dëkk la boo xam ne daal dëkk bu métti la dëkk bu métti la léegi seen yi léegi ñu ñëw si yow sa time bi bu mu passé si national team bi liggéey nga as an administrator ba léegi yaa ngi ko football léegi suñu national women's team bi okay maybe time bi duñu allow pour ñu dem si league bi but suñu current performances dañ dee dem si qualifiers bi ba up to the last hurdle suñ tasee ak ay Kenya suñ tasee ak Nigeria suñ tasee ak Cameroon the last 3 qualifiers yëpp loolu mu ngi dee sonal suñu àggee si stage boobu rek duñ ko dee mën a make pour progress to the AFCON quota yow nga foog ne lan mooy problème bi daal
sorry, now my Wolof are really bad because I'm not used to speaking a lot of Wolof every time frequently. But anyway, if I'm saying that Yeah, if I'm saying that in my community, kira this soap. That's what they always tell
Yeah,
me. Musa nyu
well,
asa
I know.
because because what you get angale lari like a matter. You know what I can speak well much. And my kids.
Yeah.
And also
Mhm.
this the area I am in, and I'm how to call it, African players, Gambian players, Ibrahim Hussein or Omar Akini, and I don't see them frequently. Gajaga, I don't even know. Sometimes if certain questions, if it is asked, I don't know where to start. Trust me, because it's repertoire. You know what is repertoire in Wolof? Everything is scattered. It's like a puzzle, mixed puzzle. So there was a time when I was there. We structured the nationality. How it's structured is we we had a meeting and I said, look, the only way we can convince the executive is to make sure we do a test match. So I facilitated test match to get Casa Sport women. Why? Because if we played with another team stronger than us, if they beat us, then that convince will cut off immediately. So I convinced the team we can beat. So that's Casa Sport. And I spoke one of the players that was playing Abuko United called Sophie. I don't know, based that Yango remember that they joke Senegal. Then I
How nice.
contacted her. Yeah, and I said, Sophie, can you please give me Casa Sport, their president called Sidou Sane. So I got his number. I called. I said, I want a test match. But this is the reason why I want a test match. And you have to support me with this. And I said, of course. Then I spoke with my former boss, Ibrahim Mane and Alaji Sasi. We were there. And they supported me a lot when it comes to that. So we convinced with Bakari. By then, he was always working with us, Bakari Jame, which I also played a very important role. So the executive invested in Basse to say how we can convince them to have this project. It's a pilot shot project. Then fast forward, we were invited, I presented. It was a tough debate before it was approved, but later on it was approved. Then, then I went for an advanced party to make sure how you can make sure you connect. Because we started with Olivia Goal, but I was an ambassador first year, the second year. Went to NBR 24, 240 girls. Then we shift. And I said, I'm targeting 1,000 girls. And it was like a dream. In the group, the team said, oh, I don't think this will really be something really realistic. I said, it will be. How are we going to do it? We're going to select every region. And we're going to work with the coordinator clusters. And they will make sure that we will do their job. And it works. And what happened? Because Hana Mbojo Mbojo nobody feel be. You who you know. Because I want to get the attention of the executive. Then I went to the CFO, one of my modest friend. I can never forget. And one lady called Fatu, I don't know. She was the lady Kompin, a big influential woman. I went to her. My mom called her. I said, my mom came to that event, you know. My mom came to the event because she always supported me. Even Azerbaijan, my mom was there. So when I went there with my delegation, I said, look, I want you to support me as a woman to woman. And I want to convince something. She said, Ndingo, in Mandinka, what do you want me to help you? I said, I want your women to come and support me. That event. I know it's morning, but I want them to come. And then she told me, how do you want it? I said, Sabar la abuga. Bring a drum. Because drum dafa humba. So if they are running, everybody will be happy. And everybody will cheer up. I know how women, what they want. You have to use the psychological aspect. That's a strategy. Alasan, the fuel was packed. LR, everybody was out. I can never forget that event. Averini, somebody who are
Can be like sabar home.
because that's how you can get their attention. You have to use something that will get their attention. And then,
Yeah.
and then if President Kabal was telling me, how did you do this? And then the credit was not, I was not the one taking the credit, but they took the credit because they were the heads. So the saver was talking, oh, we're happy. Then at 4 p.m., the match started. We beat Casa Sport 6-0. Mbasi was there making magical moves. Adam Tamba was doing spectacular. I was sitting down, I was crying. Because I was so happy. And then The president was leaving and the vice president, you know what they said to me? See us in the office. We will approve the national team. Because he's convinced. I've never seen this guy playing like this. Oh, we have this in Gambia. The safe was saying, oh, you have this. I will never know you. I want to be like Adam Atamba. I want to be like Mbasi. I want to be like Fat Fati. By then he was convinced. That's where the national A team was structured. Then we went for the first time to play the qualifiers. Sorry, I was having a call. So this how
everything started. Boy, yang sikaw lagi. Nya pang lakol. Bislo man fi wala di program bu ade ken ko luma.
So fast forward, can you get to come to your question? Gambia, this was one of the best chances that we can get to qualify for the AFCON qualifiers. Because Kenya.
Against Kenya.
But you can see Kenya. I feel like people were not watching Kenya.
Okay.
I said it in Camper Bay. I said Kenya is a strong opponent. But ranking we're atop. But why Kenya is at this stage? Because they have the support. They have the consistency. Their president shows everything. The federation is doing good for them. But in our national team, the saddest part is you'll be mute. And players want to play. So when you talk, when you're bold, when you're vocal, you are in the blacklist. So this is the perception they build in our players' mindset. This is the fear that is happening, not only women's football, but Gambian football in particular. And this has to be wiped out in the system. I don't want to talk broadly when it comes to Gambia itself, but this is the problem that we're facing. When you're strong-minded, when you're dangam, when you believe in yourself, it's always difficult. When you're under control, when you control the mind, you control the person.
Yeah.
And when the person is allowed to be controlled, then you're doomed. But this is the reality. People don't want to talk about it. Why? Because they want to shoot themselves or they're scared. Because that's why the growth will be like this. Few people like this. So instead of to expand like this, everybody to have different opinions, different mindset. We can be in the same platform, the same group, or the same team, but we have divergence of views. We have that kind of saying, oh, I don't agree. What is your point? But what makes it democratic is because the majority will carry the vote. And as much your idea is put in place, unless the team went to certain edit. So bring back to your question again is, I'm just trying to make it openly a bit for people to understand that there are some of the things that we have to work on. That's why even when it comes to the election of the Women's Football Association, I said the election was a criminal fraud. I said it. I wrote it on my Facebook. Why? Because women's football should be past this stage now. Life, so start a fee, is a hurdle, it's a step, it's a level, come stairs. So make a level 1, get them level 2, level 3, level 4, but them level 10. You don't know what of them. But you're gonna go to level 12 and then them pump level 5. It's bad. That's what happened to the national team.
It's very sad.
And unless the structure is not revamped and make it correctly, sometimes I was there. I know sometimes how the coaches will have the challenge, but what I feel is really the capacity. And when we're talking about capacity, understand, most of the time what makes me laugh is ki am na qualification bi, ki am na qualification bi, bo lol taxul nga mun.
Yeah.
Janga xam-xam dafa utee. Janga ak mun dafa utee. Ba fa ñu def
qualification.
Because moo ñu won yoon bi. But it's important for people to understand this. It's important for people to believe in such. But sometimes, you know, they have one perception is, and that perception, as long as we don't wipe it, we don't clear it, we don't throw it, we don't ban it, it will always affect our performances. Now today, those girls, still now, they call me, they take advice from me. And most of all the national team players internationally, before they go, they call me. I am going. Good luck. Some of them even invite me in their international clubs. Mama, I'm going to try and put them. Why didn't I them, inshallah? But the reality is, the national team need to be structured.
Yeah.
It needs to be
Yeah,
structured.
that's a good one.
You can take on, because right now, some of the players should not be there right now. Some of the players should be right now. There should be transition, either a coach or an administrator, or somewhere in the technical department, or somewhere that is really will be increasing the level of more of women's football officials, or so on. Maybe in the under 17, because that's the plan. That's the 4-year plan with the strategic development. But still now, if we have the same people with the strength, because I mean, jigéen ak góor dafa ute when it comes to strength. Dafa am yeneen level boo dee egga si at jigéen da nga dem down, because yaa ngee mag sa cër yi munatuñ ko. So xale yi ñoo mën a take over. So xale yooyu noonu nag ñoo waroon a groom. That's why the under 20 supposed to be consistently performing, because they're supposed to be the best to replace those people. Yes, some of them joined, like few of them, but is it enough for them to sustain the national team? That is called transition. That's how you transition. So the national team, Kenya is one of the, Kenya is stronger than us. It's far more stronger than us. People were not knowing, because when you watch, I watched them against
Really
Algeria.
showed in the game. In both legs, it
Yeah,
showed
it
that
shows in
they
the
were
game,
better
because
than
many
us.
people don't watch women's football. They want to analyze moves, but they don't watch women's football. Like sitting down, being in platform. I mean, one of the biggest platform in African platform, like women's group. We shared a lot of things. I even put there far to be, so that he also can promote Gambia, what we are doing when it comes to women's football. To share, we are having this, we are having that. When it comes to journalism, when it comes to admin, when it comes to all aspects in football, as long as women's football is concerned, so that they will also understand that this is what is happening. But Yange, we are in a circle, and then we are not progressing. It's something. This is something that why we change.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Alassane, we have 7 more minutes to go. Exactly 1 hour. We're going to close the session. But in these 7 minutes, let's little bit talk about the fear of coming out and speaking up. Speak your mind. Speak about things that are affecting you. In the men's national team, yes, you want to be professional. You don't want to taint the image of your country, your coach. Yeah, of course, you have to be level-headed. Even certain things are not going right. But these things have been affecting our athletes. It has been affecting the performances of various sports. I know Gambian athletes in athletics, those who do track and field, who have come out in a radio interview and talk about some of the challenges they are facing. They they blacklisted them. Some of them, in fact, they had the opportunity to get scholarship to go to the United States of America and train, represent the Gambia. They could have become big athletes at the time, years ago, but they were denied that opportunity because they spoke up about their mind, about things that is wrong with the association or the things that is wrong with the administration of sports. So I think this is something that we can talk about at this point.
Mr. Gajaga, Mr. Gajaga, I think it's also important. Balasia needed them. Let her take us through the kind of challenges she faced as a female in with the GFF as an administrator. So if you can take us that some of the challenges that we face as an administrator working with the GFF, not as a as a footballer, but as an administrator, that would help.
Exactly.
I will call me both in quick to sum it up. Base, this is a very important question. Yes, I obviously Gambia so neke jigéen nga dëgër nga sawar nga muna dangam. Obviously, you are not a fan of sport. Alhamdulillah, there's some of the people that I work with in the GFFR were really supportive. Were really there for me whenever I knock for the support, and because the trust that they build, some of them, the likes of I will start with. Um, One of the best people who have the belief at the start I mean, Bakari was part of it, Kemo was part of it, Joe was part of it, President Kaba was part of it. Most of them were part of it. So, so with that, you can see with the start, it was fine because I was young. I was not able into it very well. But in the long run, when I was really mature with the vast knowledge I'm getting in the football administration and also getting in the, how to call it, in the GFF. It was something that, but for me, I took those challenges as a motivation. Why? Because those challenges made me stronger and better where I am right now. Because even when I went to Denmark, it's all since it was simple for me. It was easier for me because I get used to it. When I Gambia, come on, survive for some challenge. So they made Europe, they are my because you tell me that. So what you do is just to walk. Why in Gambia? Or what they don't care. Instead of they will even I'm telling you, when I was in the meeting, they said Sainey was a national team player, the owner's son, Colin. You were a national team player? Oh, they were asking my journey and so on. But so when I get Gambia, put me back Marif. They were they will post my pictures on Women's Football Forum. They will not even celebrate me because they cannot take it. Gambia moment, they cannot take it. Gambia do they celebrate Boromam? This is a big problem. So this is affecting, and you know why? Because everybody wants to be there, manla, and cannot be like that. Muna ya muna Pape Diouf wako. Yàlla may na kii lii mu may kay lu gañ mu nekk lu rëy mu kay lu tuuti mu may keneen dara. So this is the reality of life. People have to accept it. And the reality of life connect with our daily lives, with our daily everything we are doing. And people have to learn that. So in JFF, I faced challenges 100% because I think I was one of the only women when I start with Fat Cisse as secretary of the president. But in the operation side, I was the only female and I was really young. I can remember when I come to start, they were giving me the papers or go there when I started come here. Then I went to my boss. I said, I'm here almost a month and nobody's giving me the job to do. Then I went to him. I said, Manny, how are you? He said, yes. I said, I want to work. He looked at me. He laughed. He said, you want to work? I said, yes, that's why I'm here. I want to work. And then he said, you want to work? He laughed. They said, okay, I will give you assignment. But I said, yes. Then when I was giving my job description, I didn't wait. I went straight ahead doing my projects. Straight ahead. Then I'll come to him and say, I want this, I want that. This time he start building the likes. Say, oh, she's this, she's that. So I'm going to support. I'm going to involve her in this and that. And which I agree to get it. But the challenge is, one of the things is, which I was really seeing myself, and what the money trigger, Monica. In Gambian society, jigen, sa idea, it doesn't count nothing.
Nothing else, exactly.
Even right now, if I speak, I'm telling you, I'm not bragging here, but there are many people there. I have far more experience than that when it comes to football administration now. But they will never accept that saying more muntili, them ko deglu. They will never listen to me. You know why? Because jigen la. Because why? They mayar. Because why? Si ñun la magé. Ba ñu faté né si dafa dem liggéey fenen fo xamné yeen def agangu len fa.
Yeah, the job should definitely, job shouldn't be ne again la or key ñun ñoko ya or whatever. The job has to be the job. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, how the Gambia perceive these kind of things. But
This is the
it's very,
reality.
very unfortunate.
This is the reality, Alassane. This is the reality I face in here. Sometimes I will talk and then, oh yeah, you're saying good. Yeah, sometimes I'm hurt when it comes. That's why I said, look, I said to myself, I said, why would I even consider about doing or involved in certain thing? My role here is to make sure women's football have to grow. So let me push you that and then mind my business on that. So whether I'm hurt or not, I just have to go. But when I went up to when I went to a level that okay. And the funniest thing is, the painful thing is, put you down. Put you down. So when you see that as a woman, you feel like, man, lamos manjarin fi. And man, okay, sometimes you will give in when it comes to, I don't mind about credit stuff because my job is to make sure I have to execute the policies. I have to execute what happened. And the saddest part is nakofiwa. Mananga man mom. Man, ori gaya man moy lolo. jigéen yi duñ dee support moromi jigéen. Man, I'm very unfortunate that my fellow women in sport, few of them support me. Few of them, but not up to that level. That's my challenging side in GFF. Man, jigéen ñi supporting ma. Instead of they were competing. Tanga yara lum la may. Yo dina ko may. And this is the hard fact Gajaga. This is the problem where Gambians duñ dee bëgg a wax dëgga duñ dee bëgg a génnee wax dañ dee bëgg a nuba di raay man du ma dee raay wax damaa wax nu mu nekkee nu mu mel moo tax women football lu dem bi ko xeex bi moo fa bëri ku nekk dafa bëgg a wane ma may diw ku nekk dafa bëgg a impress the president su women football xeex amee doo la xeexal women football players yi ba tukki su amee di ngeen xeex this is selfishness it's the reality.
But the plane jaral na ku nekk lu ne nag.
Jaral na lu nekk waaye su nekk ñu ne place yi la war a xeexal. This is the reality. You know me. Okay, when everybody have a different character. Maybe when I was in Switzerland, we were doing the leadership character. You know, oh, saying yo, small group, them ni after jinga, see expert, you perfectly we looking for. But you, so peace with the go. Because I can see I have the masculine energy in me. That's why when I saw myself in men's football, man feel like most because every minute Sainey, check this email, Sainey, check that email, Sainey, do this. I was all over the place because it makes me happy, it makes me grow faster. But the reality is in Gambia, not only football, but many institutions, luta ñun duñ dema dem kana moneka suñ morom jigi ci bo ñoo they put down. And if men have seen that, what do you expect to do? Yes, when I appreciate some men that they uplift, or go for it, or you're good, or just let me help, they and that. And I really appreciate those people. But the reality is, they knew Democrat was in women's football capacity of leadership more lack. So I'm on the kind of people. You have them talk to table. Because what talk is the table? Say executive level be. Ñu wax nga tek ne man li mo tek fi ni because dañu am tamit fonds ñu am lu leen amé fonds men's football non lañu amé fonds men's football. So your low level and your role is there to defend the interests of the women. And it has to be constructively with points. Not with oh, they ñu balal lañu ñun ñoo am li balal neku fa. Balal is not there. Ñoko yellow def jox ñu li ñu def ko. When I was stuck with projects, ma gis na ne the projects were not good. I wrote to FIFA. I said we want to have projects. What I did first, I went and researched. What also is one of my jobs to do. When I wrote, Sarah said, oh, Ariana, look at this is perfect. More when I saw Liberia, they are doing send women's football strategy by other countries. I was laughing. Gambia was one of the top 5 in the whole world nowadays who implement the FIFA Women's Football Development Plan. You know, the first top 5, you can implement. The strategy is there. The women's football under 15, we are organizing in league. Women's under 15, that paid the dividend where we have in the national team. We organized a symposium where the even first lady came, and it was 4 experts who came from FIFA. Capacity building of women's football administrators. That's where Philomene was featured. That's Philomene. I selected her. And Angelique, because I saw the potential. Because one day I also expect myself I will go. I left, Vero left, and now Philomena and Angelica succeeded us. This is how transition work. This is how growth. Limay opportunity. Nga joge fofu nga dem keneen ñew ñom tam ñu joge fofu keneen ñew. But ñu dem te dañu dewa higher. So life more mainly, this is how we have to progress. But we cannot be stagnant in a place for a decade. I don't want that. But anyway, we will have a specific time where we'll discuss more of burning questions, which I will never run away from. But the reality is sometimes, I think, Alessandro, you can join us on X Twitter. And we have based there a lot of discussion when it comes to football in general. Now, I'm not only specific to be saying women's football client. Now I'm open to both male and female because now I don't touch all base. But Luma Jara most of the time now to work, I'm dealing with more of men's football, when it comes to creating and installing positive mindset in their minds, because most of these players will leave Africa and then play in Europe, because one of the things that they will face challenge is number one, their culture. The culture that we have and the culture that they have is like a sangon in bango. So you go there, you're lazy, because we are lazy. Most of the players are lazy. They don't get it on time, they're late, they don't eat good food, they want to talk to their girlfriend from 8 to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and you have to train 6 o'clock, all those things. And the food that they're eating, they will eat grown soup and sit. All those things, when you're part of the professional journey, it has to stop. So all those things I have to prepare you mentally to make sure that when you go, and then also you understand sometimes if you go, many of those players that you met in that place, if you're given 10 in your country, so neke star fi Gambia, nga dem Europe, man mala offend bi, da nga fika kula gina neka star. Mulahar. Why you let some mind the monega? If they're giving 20, I will give 40. And that has to give extra of psychology. So most of these players, why they fail in these trials, maybe we'll talk about that later, which is about my area. Ne, send fee more they lack. And one of also the challenges they're facing, parents and their families. By this one, some players, some dormies, in Europe, you start football.
Yeah.
They all take a hard, but they're confused with Philby. Place they're confused with Philby. The figure they are receiving like 2,000 euros, 3,000 euros. They have to pay a house. They have to eat. They have to wear clothes because it's cold. They have to save for themselves. If you go in the long run and you got injury and you lost your contract, how do you expect to feed you guys? Leave the players to live alone. I always prepare them, and you have to save. A player have to save. If you don't save, I'm sorry for you. So that's what I will tell you. So you're useless. You save all along. Because Gambians, we are entitled. What is that? So be wise. Open your eyes. Open your mind. Both male and female. You buy lolo. And you want to tell me I will come with this agent. Last time I was listening to Kini. I was so happy with that program. I was so happy. Because it's something that is really trending. And players have to be very careful if they are signing contracts. Let them read. If they cannot read, let them take to somewhere who they trust. I will go to Alasan. Man, they gave me this, but man but I don't know the clauses inside. Alasan will tell you, hey, I'm not living in a low soko sign. Do bad debate ko. Then you have your agent. But we will talk about that area, player care. But it's really, really important. But by the Gambia, you buy like a untu. Ak ebe, player see. Playing with them.
Alasan lo mo na go ram mo. Lo mo dina bas yo. At least
That's why I will close my remarks.
Thank you, mentally. Exactly.
No, Alasan, so what about? Alasan, no overstay about.
Exactly.
What is a crime? What is a crime?
As you mentioned, time by 9 minutes. Yes, it's never enough. We always want to talk about a lot of things. But come, Shani, towards the end, Nunko, you raise a lot of points. I think these are very, very important. So we'll have subsequent editions where we're talking about. We even missed one key part of it. That's his
We
husband
can do it
or her
later.
husband. Sainey S Mbodge played in our journey to become what she is today. But we will do that at some point.
Wow, for don't like for matagas
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Wow,
No,
mama was
special one
matagas
na
mo
po
jigger.
neka. Wow.
No, kaya di mo may matagas mo jigger. Di mo may
Wow,
matagas
wow,
mo
wow.
jigger.
Devalu.
Di mo ko may. Wow, for nga may malulu. Wow. They say behind any successful woman, there is a great man behind it. Behind any successful man, there is a great woman partnership. You see, this life is all about passion. It's all about hard work. It's all about support. So my family, ñëpp ma support. So my jëkkër mu ngi nii tey maa ngi am interview. He took the last one, the 4-year-old boy, Mohammed, out just not to make noise, so that I can have my interview peacefully and freely. So also players also, those who want to get married as a woman, choose the right partner. It's really important. You know, jigéen dafa góor dafa tànn jigéen waaye jigéen tam dafa tànn góor. Look who will match your expectation. Look who will match your belief, because we have career. It's challenging sometimes. You know, marriage is not easy. We all accept that, but it has to come with low and highs. Sometimes blah. But at the end, it has to be a teamwork. Everybody knows that. Kumalal, lal nga mata. Kulal mata lal nga. Ya laf chat. Ñu ñëpp fii ñu ñaanal
bàyyi ñu
yal
moytu
na
la kon
yàlla
bés bàyyi ñu moytu ko def la ñu amatar
ñu moytu ko moo gën.
waaw waaw
no
bàyyi ñu
understand
moytu
no
la
dama
yow daal
understand
séri
rek
soo
nga
paree
life
daal
yëpp la
demaat
life yëpp understand la rek ak buggante ak bugga nga aduna yëpp ni Alassane ñu ñëpp dañoo dem te ñu ñëpp dañoo dem in life ñu ñëpp ñu ngi def suñu life suñu waala si aduna so lu ñoo def suñu waala si aduna rek moo nekk we leave the good deeds behind and people have to talk positively about us. We don't have to be like, oh, kii dafa man de wax dama bari affaire dama bari nii waaye loolu dégg dafa bon loolu dafa soxor war fa mun a affaire no lu ma ko xamee rek moo nekk yow tamit lu ma xamee rek moo nekk dafa hard work dafa nii but the reality is in life whenever we are here we have to leave the legacy and an impactful legacy. Gàcce ngaarama, I'm grateful to everyone who was part of who was, who is, and who is continue to be part of my journey, and everyone. maa ngi naa gërëm di leen santa si liggéey boo def nii bés amoon tey ma cëleen ko ma ne ko ma ne seen fan zone bi saf na waaye Gambian football has to be in mun ma déggal ak ñu ngeen ñëw si lu lifin but when I saw you it's good to see you Alassane you know.
Yeah, good to see you too,
Alassane.
It's been
He
ages.
was really my good friend. He was really my good friend, you know. He was giving me advice.
Belegi,
Yeah. Wow. But it's good to see you. Kanyaga Mom, we are often, you know, communicating, taking advice, and also if you see something positive and you know, advising me saying keep pushing. Based more than they were more blaming you, man. Mom. You know, everyone is telephone, you was that
they were base every day.
No,
Asal mutar yo sinya.
Anga mo naman si mata. Mata mo dafa bungkal. Mom ko
Wow, exactly. Teman nak kamu boleh.
Ko na leer
Wa dinañ jërëjëf waay di gërëmal tamit di gërëm tamit ñu bari you know suma modo illo tamit mo modo illo bu baax la tamit suma yaay ñëpp ñu ma sétane they are all happy.
Wow.
So gërëm naa ñëpp sant naa ñëpp wow we keep believing in Gambian sport. Things will change and things will change for better.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That's it for today's edition. Thank you very much for watching and join us the same time next week. Bye. Thanks. Finally, as now consignment. I just